up. The crowd is electric, and we'll be back to get it going right after this. And welcome into the ballpark. Happy to have you with us. The show presents the National League Division Series. It's the New York Mets and the Chicago Cubs. With Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. A lot going on in this series as we get ready for Game 3, Singy.
Well, it's a lot to ask a team to come back from down 2-0, but it's been done before, and I know they're not lacking in confidence, even in this tough situation, but it all starts with getting off to a good start in this one.
And when you're the team that holds the 2-0 edge in a 5-game series, you want to end the series right now.
Absolutely. Avoid any drama or doubt and finish the job.
All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. So just about set now. Our starter in this one, Marcus Stroman. How about a report on him, Chris?
Very dominant his last time out, picked up the win, only allowed 1 run. These guys would love to see him back on his game in this one.
Okay, all set to go. And stepping in for New York, Starling Marte. The wind of the pitch. That's in there, and we're underway in Game 3. The wind to kick the pitch. And it's fouled away. Next pitch is popped up. Mancini makes the play, and there's one down. Let's take a peek at the Mets lineup here. They're dealing with a sinker specialist on the mound, which can be a big-time challenge when he's right and working mostly from the knees down.
Well, I think the approach you take is really try to lay off of those pitches down in the zone until he gets some called strikes and then forces you to go after that pitch. Until then, make him elevated, because guys that throw those sinkers, those two-seamers, really hard for them to be effective up in the zone. Those are pitches you can hammer, and when you get a cookie, you don't want to miss it.
Here comes the 0-1. Right side. Mancini steps on the bag. 2 away here in the top of the first.
The second baseman, Jeff McNeil.
And now here's Jeff McNeil. Obviously a guy who makes good contact, hits for average, but one of the things in today's game, the value in the fact that he hits both righties and lefties. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. They're so reliant on the matchups nowadays, Chris, and it's huge when you don't have to sit a guy or platoon him.
When you can hit, both sides in terms of pitchers' arms, you're a guy that it's hard to take out of the lineup, and I think it's very important today when everything is under the microscope.
Next offering is in for a strike. Base hit. And Pete Alonso with a chance to make an impact with 2 away.
Well, that was one of those high percentage advantage counts where batting averages are just so much higher. Nice line drive to the pull side, met it out front, but just stayed through it nice enough and ripped it into the outfield.
On the north side of Chicago, John Shambi and Chris Singleton. Here's Pete Alonso. In the air out towards right center. Bellinger drifts towards it. Makes the grab, and that'll end the inning. Mets leave 1, and now it'll be the Cubs' turn in a scoreless ball game. You're watching the National League Division Series on the show. Back here at Wrigley Field, today's starting pitcher, Justin Verlander.
4-pitch guy. He's got some options to work with in terms of keeping hitters off balance. So we'll see how he decides to utilize those weapons through this start here, and whether or not he's able to mix them all in early, or if he wants to hold something back a little bit later, maybe second, third time through the order, and give them something they haven't seen. It's tough when you know a guy's got that in his back pocket. As a hitter, you really have to stay on your toes.
And first offering is fouled off.
Well, he gave up on that pitch early, and it ended up staying in the zone. I'm sure he's kicking himself and would like that pitch again.
The 0-1. That one is upstairs. Cubs made Ian Happ a first-round pick in 2015. He played at the University of Cincinnati as an infielder. Played a little bit of outfield, but a guy in 2022. What a year, Chris. Both an all-star and a gold glover. And there's the strike.
Yeah, and wins that gold glove as a left fielder, and it's a guy that was a pretty good center fielder as well. But you know, one of the things for him is just being able to be in the same spot every day. I think it increases the comfort level and allows that athletic ability to really shine.
The pitch. Caught him looking for the K.
No, just couldn't pull the trigger on the fastball right there, and I don't think he was taking it, thinking it might be a called ball or anything. I just think he was flat out frozen. Did not expect that location, in my opinion.
Seiya Suzuki, the next to hit, takes outside. One down, base is empty. And that one wrapped foul. Here's a 1-1. Foul ball. Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Well, anytime you can punch out the top two guys in a lineup to start an inning, got to be feeling pretty good out there on the mound, because when you think of just having a distraction, table setters on the base paths, and all of a sudden you're dealing with the #3 hitter, any distraction can cause you to serve up a cookie, and instead of it being a solo shot, it's a 2 or 3 run homer.
2 outs, base is empty. Here's Nico Horner. That one's in there, 0-1. The pitch. That one finds the corner, and it's 0-2.
First 2 hitters get punched out on strikes. Take some notes from the dugout. When you get your chance, go up there and hit the ball hard somewhere.
Two outs. Got him. Strikes out the side to begin the game. What a start. And the Cubs are down in order. Scoreless after 1. Here at Wrigley Field, all set for the start of the inning. And stepping in for New York, Francisco Lindor. You talk about elite defensive players, especially in the middle of the diamond, and this guy is at the top of the list. That catches the zone for a strike. 0-1. And you played behind guys, and they love having your speed out there defensively. One of the things that we talk about is how much pitchers enjoy having those elite defenders behind them. The wind and the pitch. That one the other way. Makes the catch, and there's one gone.
When you look at the ability to save runs defensively, but then also put runs up on the scoreboard, that's the kind of player that every championship team needs to have.
Here's Brandon Nimmo. That's in for a strike. No score here in the second. Stroman, a former Gold Glove winner, he features a sinker, a slider, a splitter, a cutter, and he works in a four-seamer. Whips it to first. And a couple of quick outs. Now here is Brett Beatty.
Well, off to a great start. He's really cruising out there on the mound. He's got a chance to get through these first 2 innings with under 20 pitches. That could set him up to go deep into this game.
This one popped up. Corner under it. Puts the squeeze on that one. And that is that. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left. We go to the bottom of inning number 2. We're tied 0-0. Welcome back. Bottom of the second. Now, Dansby Swanson.
Swanson, former first-round pick by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Vanderbilt player in college, College World Series player, all that good stuff, but really coming into his own.
There's a strike. Dansby Swanson's turned into one of the best defensive shortstops in baseball, Chris, and a lot of the help came from Ron Washington, but Dansby put in the work. Now 1-1. Dansby Swanson, after all of that hard work defensively, won himself the Gold Glove in 2022. The 1-1.
Oh, that's out.
Two balls and a strike. Here it comes. And a strike in there. Next offering misses. Counts full, 3-2. Got him looking. And now one away.
Fastball inside just freezes the hitter. I don't think he was ready to pull the trigger. A lot of times hitters are looking away, and that one locked him up.
Digging in, Christopher Morel. First pitch, and that's in for a strike. That misses off the outside edge. Ed Drummond behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Maybe one of the most respected umpires around the league.
He's not the kind of umpire that you're likely to notice back there. And that can be a huge compliment, really. So if you're just kind of quietly doing your job, staying consistent with your calls, hitters, pitchers, managers, even fans, they're all going to appreciate you. Ed Drummond, he's that kind of umpire.
And there's a foul ball. Two. Got him. Snap throw.
Well, right now he's in cruise control, autopilot, just dominating these hitters. It doesn't look like it's a fun at bat. And all of a sudden, you become in awe of this guy on the mound. Somebody's got to break this thing up. That's 5 straight strikeouts. Got to put a ball in play.
Righty to the plate. The other way. Makes the play, and it's out number 3. Nothing happening there for the Cubs. We'll move to the third with no score. And welcome back. New inning getting started. And stepping in for New York, Mark Canha. Stroh, a former first-round pick out of Duke back in 2012. When he was at Duke, he actually was a two-way guy. He played middle infield. He still loves to shag taking ground balls at short or third or second. Really good athlete. And now it's even up.
Yeah, this is a guy that goes out there every time looking to prove that height does not measure heart. It's something that he has written on the bill of his cap oftentimes when he's pitching.
2 balls, 1 strike.
The count 2-1. And that one fouled off. Battling here as he fouls it away. That one lifted to left. Hat moving under it. And there's one down.
Just pulled off of it a little bit right there. That front shoulder coming open instead of staying closed. If he does that, he's going to be able to go up the middle the other way with some authority instead of a fly out to left.
Alvarez goes 5 feet 11 inches, 220 pounds, and he's a former Rookie of the Year. Francisco Alvarez in now, takes ball one off the plate. Top of the third, no score. Now 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
The 1-1 is fouled off. Next one misses, and it's 2-2.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Liner caught it second.
Nothing you can do about those as a hitter. Even though you know that, they still drive you absolutely crazy.
Back to the top of the Mets order. And next for the Mets, Starling Marte. He's 0 for 1. In there, and it's 0-1. Down the right field line and a base hit. Now he turns and heads for second. And that's a double.
Nice job of driving that pitch the other way on a line. You know, hitters, they take so many reps in the cages working on going to the opposite field, and it doesn't always translate into the game, but right there it did, and he did it perfectly. Runner in scoring position now, and a good opportunity to push across the first run of the ballgame.
On the north side of Chicago, John Chambi and Chris Singleton. And next is the designated hitter, Luis Guillorme. And that's in there for strike one.
Well, they're looking to get on the board first here after that clutch 2-out double made this inning interesting.
And a foul ball. Marte on at second with 2 down. And that one got a piece of him. He had 2 strikes on him, and he hit him.
As a hitter, I'll take that all day long. An off-speed pitch, it's not going to rattle your cage too much.
One of the coolest moments of Marcus Stroman's career, Chris, he was the MVP of the 2017 World Baseball Classic. Team USA won gold. He took a no-hitter into the 7th inning of the championship game.
Really so awesome to see how guys buy into the WBC in spring training. They really take it seriously once they put on that USA uniform.
He handles it himself. That's the 3rd out. 2 left for the Mets, and we are still scoreless. And up to the plate comes Cody Bellinger.
The center fielder, Cody Bellinger.
Verlander back to work. That one misses. Ball 1.
Cody Bellinger, no stranger to the big stage. He played in the 2007 Little League World Series. He's the 14th player ever to play in both the Little League World Series and the Major League World Series.
Next offering is in for a strike.
Man, this guy's got a great feel for his breaking ball today.
Hit hard. That gets through.
Couldn't have timed it up any better than that. Really nice job staying up the middle with his approach. He didn't try to do too much with the pitch. Just shot it through the infield.
Trey Mancini now. And first offering is fouled off. Runner at first with no outs here. Verlander moved to first. Bellinger dives back. The 0-1. And that one fouled off.
With 2 strikes, may see some movement over there at first base, trying to stay out of a double play here.
Next offering is fouled back. Nobody out. Runner at first. Stays alive. Next pitch inside, and the count 1-2.
Tough to take a 2-strike changeup that just missed. They get frozen.
And it's even up.
Well, with the amount of pitches that can end up in the dirt, a good secondary lead. Doesn't have to get away from the catcher, but if you're anticipating based off the trajectory, get yourself into scoring position.
Racing makes the catch. 1 away.
Good pitch. He just kind of had him out in front on that pitch away and wasn't able to stay close.
Here's the catcher, Luis Torrens.
Definitely wants to stay out of the double play here. Ball on the ground in the infield. Should be an inning-ending double play.
In there for strike 1. Torrens in his 5th season, hitting 9th in today's lineup, and he was born in Venezuela. That's out to center field. Nimmo ranging after it. Hooks it away for the out.
Some of the greatest players in the history of the game were born in Venezuela, including one that finished with 500-plus home runs, 3,000-plus hits, and a triple crown.
Ian Happ up to hit. He was a strikeout victim his first time. Verlander moved to first. Bellinger dives back. And first offering is fouled off. Righty delivers. Off the mark there. And it's a ball and a strike.
No, he's really working him away this at bat. Sometimes take a little bit off velocity. Try to get a rollover, something on the ground. Stay away from that big hole on the right side of the infield.
That's a hit. Throw stops the lead runner at second. 2 on and 2 out.
I'm sure he feels really good about that one. When you see a ball come off the bat like that, you know it was pretty much a perfect swing. And for me, I start wondering, and I'm looking on the computer, what was the exit velocity? This time 106.
And here is Seiya Suzuki. That's in there. That's strike 1. At the belt and fires. Pitch misses there. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 is fouled off. And the pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count with 2 outs. Good eye right there.
He should get a pretty good pitch to hit here with 3-hole hitter coming up if he's well.
On the ground right side. Alonso takes it himself, and that's the inning. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left stranded. Game 3 moves on to the 4th. We're tied 0-0. Back here at the ballpark, John Sciambi with Chris Singleton, and set to lead off the 4th, Pete Alonso. And a pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Couple of quick nuggets on Pete Alonso. He graduated from the same high school as Wade Boggs, Plant High School in the Tampa area. And Alonso also played at the University of Florida. He was teammates there with Harrison Bader. Next pitch is downstairs. And it finds its way through for a hit. So a runner aboard to start the inning.
Well, that certainly feels good when you can win the at-bat after being down in the count, up against it with 2 strikes right there. I really like that swing, man. He didn't just push it the other way through the infield. He drove it that way, and it kind of makes me think he was thinking opposite field as he stepped into the box. Got a pitch he liked, and he got it done.
Fly ball down the right field line. If it's fair, it's gone, and that is gone. Francisco Lindor sends it out, and they jump out front. It's 2-0.
A good hitter gets pitch recognition early. He saw exactly where that was going to be. The challenge, not get over anxious and come out of your swing. He stayed on it and got all of it.
Brandon Nimmo up now for the Mets. That one clips the outside corner. It's 0-1.
It can be tough to bounce back after a big home run, but nobody on, nobody out. You just have to treat it as a fresh inning.
Left-hand batter waits. And a swing and a miss there.
Good late sink on that fastball. Out of the hand looks so good, and then by the time it gets in the hitting zone, hard to get the barrel to it.
Here's the 0-2. Fights it off. He'll see another. Kicks and deals. Foul ball still 0-2. Out to short. Swanson. That's the first out in the top of the 4th.
Well, he's one of the best shortstops in the sport, no doubt about it. And he put his skills on display once again right there. Great stop on the backhand, but it was the transfer and throw for me that really stood out. With the speed going down the line, there's no way he gets the out any other way. That was impressive.
Beatty in the box now. No balls and a strike. Flied to right his first time. And the 0-1. There's a strike. Still only 1 out here in the inning. And a pitch. Outside.
2 strikes.
That one ripped. Snags it for the second out.
Nice swing and good solid contact. That ball was smoked, but needed a little more lift to get into the outfield gap. Maybe a little more backspin.
Here's Mark Canha. Flied out his first time. And that one just misses. A ball and no strikes. And he deals. Just misses with that one. Two down. And now the count filled up 3-2.
He's really tightening up his hitting zone with 2 strikes here. I love it.
Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout. But 2 come across to score in the inning, courtesy of this 2-run homer. And it's 2-zip. This is the National League Division Series on the show. Back here at the friendly confines, ready to go for the last half of the inning. So up now for Chicago, Nico Horner. The right-hander back to work. And there's the strike.
Well, after scoring runs, this is where you're looking for that shutdown inning. Get that hot team back in there to swing the bats.
Here's a high fly ball out to center. Nimmo ranging after it. Pulls it in on the run. And there's one away.
Now
Dansby Swanson stands in. Went down on strikes his first time through. Foul ball there.
Dansby Swanson, this is a guy who kind of had a target on his back. #1 overall pick out of Vanderbilt. People were expecting a whole lot, comparing him to Derek Jeter.
That one misses, and it's a ball and a strike. Swanson with an outstanding career at Vanderbilt, won the 2014 College World Series, and was also named the most outstanding player. Here comes the pitch. 1-2 here. Swings and misses, struck him out.
You know, Boog, you often think a slider's more for that horizontal movement, but most of the good ones have both vertical depth and that horizontal movement, and that's what we saw right there. Good drop on the break and got him to swing over the top.
Morel stands in here. Tried to hold back his swing there, but went around. The 0-1. And ball 1. Swings and misses. And it's 1-2.
Well, they just threw that fastball by him, elevated, and if you're not looking up in that location, very difficult to catch up to, especially with that velocity.
And he hits a ground ball right side, and that's just foul. Here's a 1-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. He swung over top of the curveball. So they go quietly there. On to the top of the 5th we go. It's the Mets 2 and the Cubs nothing. Back here at Wrigley Field, ready now for the 5th inning. Here's the catcher for the Mets, Francisco Alvarez.
He's got pop, which is a little sneaky because He's so comfortable with taking his base hits to the opposite field, but he can jump you if you make a mistake. Well, these Mets, simply put, are producing a lot of quality swings. They've hit 7 line drives already, and even though some of them have been for outs, there's nothing wrong with delivering consistent, hard contact. That's almost always going to lead to positive results.
The 1-1 is fouled off. The pitch. Alvarez started after it, tried to hold up. Now a look to first. No swing. He held up. Clyde Washington with the call there. 2-2 on the way. Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout.
Wow, just great bite to that slider. Broke hard out of the zone, and he just couldn't hold up the swing. You know, as a hitter, that pitch is really hard to take, and there's just not much you can do with it. You know that, but you don't want to get rung up by the umpire.
Marte stands in now and watches strike one. Yo, one. A little bit low. That misses. 2-1. And a pitch. Fouled off the plate. They'll do it again. And that one is lifted in the air. Suzuki has a beat on it. Makes the catch. 2 down.
Now,
2 outs. Base is empty. Here's Luis Guillorme. Ball 1, no strikes.
Well, this is the type of hitter you want up in this situation. Some sluggers coming up behind him. He's so good at moving runners, but also getting on base. See if he can be patient here.
And the 1-0. He swings and fouls one off. Here's a 1-1. They say it went.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
The 1-1 is fouled off. Two down, nobody on. Spoils the 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another. That misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, this is a guy that can be frustrating for pitchers because he fouls off so many pitches and grinds out the at-bat. I'm sure there's some times where a pitcher would rather just give up a first pitch single than have to waste 6 or 7 pitches on one hitter.
Spoils that one, and it remains 2-2. And another ball.
Wow, this guy's really battling up there as if his run is the game-winning run. I love his tenacity.
Line drive, base hit.
Showed a lot of fight with 2 strikes in that AB. Anytime you rip a line drive the other way, you feel really good about what you did at the plate. You trusted your hands, you let the ball travel, and you took the barrel straight to it. That's great work right there.
Jeff McNeil stands in. 1 for 2. First pitch doesn't find the zone.
Ball 1, no strike.
And that gets the inside corner for a strike. Next pitch misses, and it's 2-1. There's a strike. And here it comes. And now it's filled up.
3-2, 2 out, runner on first. A lot of movement in the infield. Hitter's got to stay focused on the pitch.
Pete Alonso up next for the Mets. Guillorme off of first with 2 away. Here's a high chopper. He'll do it himself, and that is that. Mets strand 1, but they're on top 2-0. Here at Wrigley Field, Edwin Rios here.
Well, these fans definitely want to get involved in the game. All it's going to take is to get the leadoff man or even a base runner on.
First pitch, and he just misses.
You know, these Cubs just lacking discipline at the plate in this ballgame. So many of their outs have come from weak contact on pitches they're chasing outside of the strike zone. You can't do much of anything with those locations, and that's been true again today.
In the air, out towards left center. Canna makes the grab, 1 away.
And as a pitcher, when the hitters are swinging at everything, you feel no need to challenge inside the zone. You just keep working the corners and expanding that strike zone and beyond, and they just keep eating right out of your hand.
And first offering is fouled off. Kicks and fires. And a foul ball. The 0-2. That one out to right. Marte moves under it. He's there. He's got it. And there's 2 away.
Maybe caught that one off the end just a little bit. Couldn't quite barrel it up enough to really drive it.
And next for the Cubs, Trey Mancini popped out to left his first time. Chris, you know what they call Mancini?
Boom, boom.
That's right. For Ray Mancini, the famous boxer, it stuck when he started hitting home runs, though, in baseball. And that one in the air, center field. Nimmo makes the grab. And that is that. 3 up, 3 down for the Cubs. They're still down. It's 2-0. And welcome back. Top of the 6th inning. And now it's the polar bear, Pete Alonso. Stroman back to work.
Yeah, good power hitter on the field, but a really good human being off the field. And in fact, in 2021, he was named the AL Comeback Player of the Year after beating stage 3 colon cancer in 2020 and became a real inspiration to many around the league.
2 balls, no strikes.
The pitch.
Ball 3.
A rare 3-ball count here. He's been throwing strikes all day. Got to be ready to hit if you're in the box.
Next pitch in for a strike, and the count is 3-1.
Pretty impressive. We haven't seen that pitch from him much, but he's got a really good feel when he throws it.
That's a strike, and the count's full.
Count full.
And there's ball 4.
Well, he tried to nibble right there and just missed his spot. Hitter didn't offer at it. Now he has somebody to worry about over at first.
Here comes the manager out of the Cubs dugout, and he will make a move to the pen. That's it for Marcus Stroman. 2-run ball game as he heads for the dugout, and we'll be back with a new pitcher. Here comes a new arm for the Cubs, Adbert Alzolay.
Pretty tight game, so they're looking for quality pitches out of him right here. Got to do his best to keep the score right where it is.
Francisco Lindor comes up to the plate. His homer earlier is responsible for the only runs they've scored in this one.
Yeah, forget small ball. They're kind of living and dying by the long ball so far in this one.
Lindor, 29 years old, and he won the Silver Slugger at his position in the National League last year. Right-handed reliever, and that's a strike. Inside, and it hit him. He had him 1-2, and he ends up hitting him with a pitch.
No, that adds another runner, and now they've got one in scoring position. Looks like things are getting a little wobbly out there on the mound.
Nimmo in the box again, takes the strike.
Some guys are just more confident if they can track that first pitch out of the hand of the pitcher. They don't care if they fall behind 0-1.
And now the 0-1.
Ball one.
Bullpen activity starting up now. Brad Boxberger, the veteran right-hander, appears to be loosening up. Hoyer getting cranked up as well. Alonso at second. Lindor on at first with nobody out. Next pitch is outside.
Tough spot right here. A couple runners on. 2-ball count. You can't nibble, but you have to execute and finish your pitch. If you leave something out over the plate, it's going to bring in some runs.
Left-hand hitter waits, and that's through there for a strike. Got him looking. That's a strikeout.
Well, you could tell he wasn't expecting that ball to break back in on him. He may have been looking for something away, maybe something soft, but that slider on the inside corner absolutely frozen.
On the north side of Chicago, John Sciambi and Chris Singleton. Here's the third baseman, Brett Beatty. First pitch, and that's in for a strike.
At the dish, looking to lift the ball in the air in this spot. Anything but the inning double play, Boo.
The 0-1. That one missed. Working down to the zone to start the at-bat, looking for that double play ground ball.
Yeah, back-to-back sinkers there. He's looking for some weak contact or to get this hitter to roll over. Now, as a hitter, you have to be really disciplined. Don't look down because you'll end up chasing the ball down. Set your sights high. Maybe you get a mistake.
The pitch. On the corner for a strike. One out. Runners at first and second. And look out. That one gets him. The second man he's plunked in this one.
Well, there's no hiding in this spot. Bases loaded now and no more wiggle room for any more mistakes like that.
Canna in the box now. Take strike one.
I think ultimately you want to tie him up, get the ball in on the plate so that he can't get the barrel to it and hit it to the outfield.
0-1 now. Comes up empty. That's strike two. Ground ball left side. Over to second for one. Ow! The double play ends the inning and might have saved the game for them.
Just trying to sneak one through with the bases loaded, but an excellent job by the defense to turn that one and get out of this jam.
I got my bands up, 20s, 50s, 100s in my hand. VIP, I'm cooling like a fan.
Luis Torrens digs in now. 0 for 1 so far.
Luis Torrens.
The wind of the pitch. That's in there. And it's 0-1.
I'm impressed by the number of first pitch strikes. He's not afraid of contact. Some guys, they'll nibble just because they don't want to get hit hard. That's not what we're seeing here.
0-2 now. And that one just missed off the outside edge.
His understanding of the strike zone, very impressive. That was a very close 0-2 fastball. I just don't know how you take that.
The 1-2. Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again.
The idea was right, looking to locate that fastball up and in. He just missed his spot a little bit.
1-2 now. Swings through it, and that's a strikeout.
Well, he's been racking up the strikeouts, and what's so impressive, not walking anyone. I mean, this guy's just going right after hitters, filling up the strike zone, and it looks like hitters, they're trying to think with him, but they just are a pitch behind. Dominating stuff out there on the mound.
Back to the leadoff spot in the Cubs lineup. And up next for Chicago, Ian Happ. First offering misses the mark.
Happ, a switch hitter. It can be challenging for guys at the big league level to maintain a good swing from both sides of the plate. Clearly, he's got more power from the left side, but in 2022, the right side was respectable as well.
There's your strike. Right-hander kicks, deals. Fought off foul. And the right-hander deals. And now the count is even.
2-2 now.
That one drifts inside.
Well, he's so great about hitting the ball the other way. He gets those arms extended. So right there, just trying to straighten him up a little bit so he doesn't have as much outside plate coverage.
The pitch. Fouled off again, and it remains 3-2. And a foul ball, he stays alive. Ninth pitch of the at-bat due next. Goes down swinging for the strikeout. Couldn't catch up to the heater.
You usually are going to see that inside fastball a little longer coming in from the opposite side, but that pitch really got in on him right there. I mean, that's a well-thrown pitch. Tough to do anything with that in terms of getting the hands through and the sweet spot of the bat to the baseball.
Suzuki in the box here, lets that one go for a ball. Swing and a ball popped up. McNeil puts the squeeze on that one, and that will end the inning. Cubs are down quietly. They trail things here 2-0. Now on the bump, Cody Hoyer.
And this could be a pretty critical point in this game. They're hoping he's the guy to keep him within striking distance.
And stepping in for New York, Francisco Alvarez. And the pitch. In there at the knees. Here's 0-1. In the air, left field. Happ moving under it. And there's one down.
The right fielder, number 6. Starling.
So the batting order turns over. Starling Marte up to hit. 1 for 3. Pitch is in there. Strike 1.
Not sure if he was expecting for the pitcher to come right at him, but he got a nice cookie there and just watched it the entire way.
Close, but called a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's outside. The 2-1. Lifted in the air down the left side, and that's a fair ball.
No, he didn't get much of that one, but it's going to look like a line drive in the box score tomorrow. He probably would have been able to drive that pitch on the outside if he let it just get a little deeper and look to hit it to the opposite field, but he made it work out.
Luis Guillorme now at the plate.
Beautiful swing in his last at bat, opposite field knock.
And the first pitch misses for ball 1. Marte, the base runner at first with 1 out. Marte on the move. In the air, left field. Happ heads towards it. Brings it in with a nice running grab. And there's 2 away.
The batter number 1. Second baseman, Jazz.
And now, Jeff McNeil. That misses the zone. 1-0. Hoyer checks on first. Marte dives back in. Marte on the move. And it's fouled away. Next offering upstairs.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Runner on the go again. Lifted in the air, right center field. Bellinger sizing it up. Makes the grab on the run. And that is that. So 1 hit is all they get. Midway in inning number 7, and it's time to stretch. It's the Mets 2 and the Cubs nothing. Back here at the ballpark, now at the plate, Nico Horner. Feels like it's less common today that you see a guy like this. The speed component, the contact component, but lack of power. That's outside, and that's ball 1.
I think baseball's starting to understand that those guys are valuable like they once were. They need them in this game today.
Out to short. Nice grab. Gathers and throws, but he beats it out. And the leadoff man is on with an infield single.
This is great work by the shortstop. He makes the throw across the diamond after the dive and just wasn't able to get it there in time. But I love how much he put into that play. And on the other side, he was really giving it his all down the line as well. Nice play on both ends.
Now the Cubs 4-hole hitter, Dansby Swanson, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. First pitch just misses. The tying run at the plate.
struggled a little bit in this one. A couple of strikeouts earlier, but doing a much better job in this at-bat to get ahead and find a good hitter's count at 2-0.
Good hitters count the 2-0. Swing and a miss.
It's amazing to look up and see 88 miles per hour on that changeup. Back in the day, that was a pretty good fastball, but with high velocities these days, that speed differential is right where it needs to be.
The 2-1. Fouled off. He was late.
He's mixing his pitches really well. Late on that fastball after seeing the changeup. See if he can elevate one. I think if he does, he'll get the swing and miss.
Swing and a miss, and he is down on strikes for the third straight at bat.
Well, that slider was way out of the zone, and for me, it just comes down to not seeing the pitch out of the hand, not tracking it into the zone, and then also being a little bit anxious, not confident in your two-strike approach. And so when a guy's in that position, you get him to commit early, and a lot of times you get the swing and miss, as you did right there.
And now it's going to be Christopher Morel. First offering, and it just misses. Righty to the plate. Late with the swing there.
Got a ball, 1 strike.
Next offering is fouled back.
Really going after him here. All fastballs to get ahead in the count.
The 1-2. And the 1-2 misses to even the count. Check swing. Now we'll look down to first. No swing. Just held it back there. Gets a piece and stays alive.
Really great change of speeds. He goes off the off-speed to the fastball, and the hitter doesn't know what's coming next.
Verlander moved to first. Corner back in on a dive. Got him. And now 2 gone.
Well, interesting. He's looking very comfortable out of the stretch after giving up the leadoff single. Back-to-back strikeouts. So they haven't been able to move that runner up, get him in the scoring position, and try to have a better chance of scoring. I tell you, good job so far on the mound. He just needs one more out.
Next is the designated hitter, Edwin Rios. First pitch doesn't find the zone.
Count 1-0.
At the belt and fires.
Well, this looks like it's going to be a wasted opportunity. It's frustrating when you get the leadoff man on, but you can't get him into scoring position. They're going to need a big knock. Try to put something up on the board.
Next pitch is outside. Meanwhile, activity in the bullpen. Edwin Diaz up and loosening in the pen. Raley, the lefty, warming up as well. Verlander moved to first. Corner back in on a dive.
Just 1 out away from 7 strong innings and just at 100 pitches. Man, pretty impressive. They've got to be happy with what they've gotten from him out there today.
That misses the zone. And now 3 balls and a strike. Cody Bellinger waiting to hit for the Cubs. Tying run at the plate. And ball 4, 2 aboard.
Well, he's starting to look a little gassed to me, and we'll see if they go to the bullpen in this spot or not.
And here comes the Mets manager to the mound. Pitching change coming. Verlander done in this one. And as he heads for the dugout, we'll take a quick break. New arm on the mound when we get back. The Mets with a new arm on the mound, John Curtis.
These are the spots relievers really make a name for themselves. Late and close. There's not much margin for error, but at the same time, there's a reason they're put in these situations.
Here's Cody Bellinger.
Well, with both starters out of this ball game, it now becomes a battle on the bullpens and just seeing which manager can match up better and who's able to get to the finish line.
In there, and it's 0-1.
Well, with both starters out of the game, this quickly becomes a bullpen game, and this is something we see more and more in the game today, especially in the postseason.
That one pushed to the left and foul. Horner on second. Rios at first. 2 out of the inning. Next offering is fouled back. Oh, 0-2 now. Battling here as he fouls it away. And the 0-2. And down on strikes he goes. Snap throw. Clean work out of the Mets bullpen there. We look ahead to inning number 8. It's the Mets 2 and the Cubs nothing. So Brad Boxberger rolls into the game.
Just trying to keep this one close here, and this is where a bullpen can give their guys a chance to fight back into the game.
Pete Alonso up now for the Mets. He's not going to get cheated up there.
No, he's not. He's looking to do damage with every swing he takes.
And a pitch. And downstairs. And the righty deals. And fires in a fastball at 95. The 1-1. Way high. The pitch. Out towards left center. Bellinger in a full sprint. Snags it on the run. 1 up, 1 down. Here's Francisco Lindor. He's already homered in this game. That's off the mark. Ball 1. One check swing, appeal down to third. That's a swing according to umpire Woody Kelly. And a pitch. So a foul ball makes it 1-2. There's a swing and a drive. Suzuki raging back towards the wall. Back some more. Makes the catch up against the wall.
Man, I love that route. The ball was smoked. He knew he had to get back to the track right away. Turned his back on the infield. Got to the spot. Turned around and made a nice catch.
Nimmo stands in here. Tried to hold back his swing there, but went around. Oh, 1 down. And that one is inside. And there's a rocket into the outfield. And that keeps the inning going.
Everything came together for him. Pretty good fastball location. Down and in on the corner, but that was just a nice job to handle it and hit it hard. Very tough spot to get the barrel to most of the time, though. And now they've got some speed on first, so we'll see if they try to get him into motion.
So 2 down. Brett Beatty will hit next. First offering misses the mark. Swing and a miss. Nice changeup.
Man, he really sells the changeup with that arm action.
And a 1-1. Line drive, and that's a base hit to right. Throw, and it gets away.
Now left.
Solid swing from start to end. On time with everything. Really good balance. Nice extension. And he met it out front for the line drive knock.
So 2 on with 2 away. Mark Canha getting ready to hit. First pitch just misses.
When the skipper calls down to the bullpen, he's expecting the guy to come in and get outs. So far, not getting what he was hoping for.
Righty delivers. Swing and a foul straight back. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2.
Well, this is a higher leverage spot, and I love the way that he's turned things around. He's got 2 outs now ahead in this count, and he can pretty much dictate what's going to happen next in terms of the pitch sequence.
2 on, 2 outs. Fights that one away. Still 1 and 2.
You could see he was trying to stay back long enough to handle the off-speed pitch, but just a little tardy on the fastball.
Got him swinging.
I think the key is arm action on the changeup. When you can sell it like a fastball, you drop the velocity, you get the swing and miss, and you walk off the field.
Welcome back. On to the bottom of the 8th. Leading off, Trey Mancini. Here comes a pitch. And a good fastball to start him off. That's strike 1.
Pitching has been pretty dominant in this one, but you got to be careful not working with too big a lead. They could get right back in this ball game if you're not careful.
And he deals. That one the other way. McNeil tosses to first, and a quick out, number 1.
Now catcher,
Luis Torrens, the next to hit. Bounce to the right side. Oh, look at the stop. Nicely done for the out.
Well, that ball off the bat ticketed for the outfield and a base hit for the hitter, but just taken away by the diving stop. Nice job.
Taking over on the mound for the Mets, David Robertson.
Well, the best relievers love the opportunity to come in and protect a tight lead late in the ball game. Some of them are just wired different, so we'll see what he's got here.
Ian Happ, the next Cub to hit. Good contact guy, good defender. And a foul ball. Ground ball up the middle. And that is the inning. Nothing across here this half. On to the 9th now in game 3. It's the Mets 2 and the Cubs nothing. Camilo Doval on to pitch here.
And he's coming in to pitch on 4 days rest right here. And that might not be a factor at all in terms of being rusty, but he should definitely be well rested.
And here's the catcher, Francisco Alvarez. Doval in his 3rd season, 25 years old, and they traded for him earlier this year. The pitch, and that's outside. The 1-0. Swing and a miss as he was late that time.
I guess you throw it that hard, you can get away with locations like that right down the middle. But I still think it's a dangerous pitch. Don't want to do it again.
Next one is off the plate. 2-1. Slider misses outside.
At this point in the game, you cannot issue free passes. He's going to have to challenge this hitter. Hitter's got to be ready to swing it.
And that one lifted in the air center field. Bellinger coming on. And out number 1 on the grab. On the north side of Chicago, John Sciambi and Chris Singleton. And now the right fielder, Starling Marte. Now the 0-1. Gets the slider in there for a strike.
That front door slider is such a devastating pitch. You don't want to get beat by the inside fastball, so you cheat a little bit, and then by the time it gets there, it's out of the swing plane.
The 0-2. And that one upstairs. And misses. It's a strikeout.
Well, we see it a lot more these days than we ever did when I played, but a slider in the 90s still catches your attention. Even if you're sitting on the pitch, good luck recognizing that tight spin and adjusting to the late break.
Guillorme in the box with 2 gone and takes a look at a called strike. Here comes the 0-1. Just missed.
Boog, he never moved because he never had time to. But that kind of velocity, you'd prefer that pitcher work away.
The 1-1 is fouled off. And a pitch. That one the other way. Brings it in for the 3rd out. So they make short work of him there. 2-3-4 set to hit in the bottom of the 9th. It's the Mets 2 and the Cubs nothing. So they turn to Edwin Diaz out of the pen.
Power slider guy, Boog. He throws it hard and gets a lot of late movement, so it's tough to pick up.
Now pitching for New York, number 39, Edwin Diaz.
So digging in, Seiya Suzuki. And here we are, 9th inning elimination game, and they're trying to keep their season alive. They need him to get on base.
He's got to find a way just to quiet things down, work his way onto the base path so that they can have an inning and get back in this game.
And there's the strike.
No need to offer at that pitch until you get to 2 strikes. It's just a low percentage of success when you want to try to go after that down and away pitch.
And here it comes. Pitch misses, and it's a ball and a strike. The 1-1 is fouled off. 1-2. Stays alive. And a 1-2 again. Swings and misses. Struck him out.
Such a challenge when a guy's got great velocity. He's throwing a slider over 90 miles per hour. You want to be ready to hit that fastball, but that late break just eats you up every time.
Corner. Batting with one down. Takes a strike. Kicks and deals.
Nope,
And that's
that's a
off
ball.
the inside edge. 1 ball, 1
One
strike.
ball, 1 strike.
And that one is in for a strike.
Just amazing to me how many closers and back-end relievers just throw absolute gas these days. I never would have had a
2
chance.
balls, 2
Next
strikes.
offering way off the plate. Swing and a miss. Struck him out.
Well, it's kind of tough right here. Closer comes in and he strikes out the first 2 hitters. It's hard not to feel defeated and that this is going to go quickly. But you got to go up there, maybe try to find a way to choke up on the bat, spread out, put the ball in play, and maybe you can extend this inning.
So it's their last chance in this one. Dansby Swanson, the next Cub to hit. He swings and misses at the first pitch. 0-1. Two down, nobody on. And the slider just misses. 2-run game with 2 away here in the bottom of the 9th. The 1-1 is fouled off. Here's a 1-2.
2-2 now.
And that's it. They're moving on to the National League Championship Series.
You win a National League Division Series, you can breathe a little bit as the next one will stretch out to possibly 7 games. I'm sure they don't want to take it that far, but they're just going to be happy to get there. Congratulations, guys.
The final line score for this afternoon's ball game. For the victorious New York Mets, 2 runs on 8 hits, no errors. They left 10 men on base. For the Cubs, no runs, 3 hits, no errors. They left 4 men on base. The winning pitcher is Justin Verlander. The loss goes to Marcus Stroman. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 28 minutes.